Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Today we have Amaryllis for Edison Format. We do Go, Edison, Tengu, or Hat format here, so if you guys like any of those alternative formats, maybe some of the more niche ones I didn't name, stick around for that. We got more. Alright, so we got Amaryllis. I think this deck list is pretty solid. I'm not doing anything too spicy. I'm trying to just get consistency going, so I think this is a pretty solid starting point for any person who's interested in playing in the deck. Alright, we got 40 card main deck, and then we got 15 card extra deck. To start off, we had the main plant himself, herself, whatever. We got Phoenixian Cluster Amaryllis. This card says this card cannot be special summoned except by with its own effect or with Phoenixian Seed. If this card attacks, it is destroyed after damage calculation. If this card you control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, inflict 800 points of damage to your opponent. During your end phase, you can play one plant-type monster from your graveyard, especially summon this card from your graveyard in defense. So it's going to be non-stop recursion. It's going to be a big body. It's level 8, which plays in the trade-in. It's going to burn. This card just insanely good with the grind game, and this is what the deck is themed around. Next up, we have 3 Titanial, because Titanial is a level 8 as well for trade-in. Also, it's a great Lone Fire Blossom target. Speaking of Lone Fire, we have 2 of them. Also, this is going to be great to summon off of DDR if you banish it off of Phoenixian Cluster Amaryllis. This one here. Yeah, Lone Fire is semi-limited, so you can't play more than that. Next up, we have 2 Dandelions, also semi-limited, insanely good card. Because we do run like Mill Engine in this deck, because it's very nice to get Cluster Amaryllis in the graveyard. Dandelion's also a great mill target. We're playing some generically good plants. We're playing 1 Botanical Lion and 1 Lord of Poison. Botanical Lion, he cannot be brain controlled because he can't change control. And he says this card gains 300 attack for each plant type monster you control. So he can get pretty big just by normal summoning him. And as we know, this guy recurs himself, so he's going to be 1900 at least, he's going to be 1900 alone when he summons himself. And then he's going to be at least 2200 off that, so just a great normal summon. And then Lord of Poison says, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon 1 plant-type monster from your graveyard except Lord of Poison. And like I said, we have some giant targets here, so that's really nice. Or some things that we can get out, you know. It's really nice as a one-of. Card Trooper, because we are trying to mill. And then great advantage, obviously, 1900 beater, draw a card. Songan, because we have a ridiculous amount of good low attack targets like Lone Fire, Dandy, Trooper. Then we have Plague and Necrogardna, some more mill targets. And then we have the rest of our mill engine to go with Card Trooper. We're going to play 1 Lila and then 3 Raikou. We are playing the 1 Charge Light Brigade, which I'll show here in a second. That's part of that as well. And then to get some draw power and also discard from the hand, because if you do draw this, the only way to get out of your hand is, well, we actually have a few ways, so I don't know why I'm saying that, but one of the ways to get out of our hand is going to be Morphing Jar. Morphing Jar is also a great Songan target. And that is it for the monsters. We'll move on to the spells and traps, but before I do that, if you guys have any changes on the ratios, things you would add, take away, let me know down below. I think this is a pretty solid starting point for anybody who's getting into the deck, but hey, I'm always down to learn something else, so put me on some knowledge. Alright, to start off with for the spells, like I mentioned, as a last card of that mill engine, we have the 1 Charge Light Brigade. It's limited to 1 in the format. Card's insanely powerful. We got Brain Control, because we can tribute stuff off, and we can synchro, so just nice for us. Next up, we have 1 Foolish Burial, because we have so many damn targets. It's not even funny. To help us feel safe and let our plays go through, we have 1 Heavy Storm and 1 MST. As part of our equip spell engine, we're going to be playing 1 DDR. This one says discard 1 card, then target 1 of your banished monsters, special summon it in face-up attack position, and equip it with this card. When this card leaves the field, destroy the equipped monster. So this is another way of getting Amaryllis out of our hand. And then our next equip spell, we're going to have one Mark of the Rose. This one says activate this card by banishing one plant type monster, which synergizes very well with this. Take control of an opponent's monster, and then you give control of that opponent's monster back to your opponent. Once during your standby phase, you take control of it. So, sorry, end phase, you give it back to them. Standby phase, you take it back. Your end phase and your standby phase. And then to finish off that equip engine, we're going to go with 3 Hidden Armory. Hidden Armory is also part of the mill engine. Not an insane amount of mills, but definitely mills for sure. It says send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Add 1 equip spell from your deck to your or graveyard to your hand, which is nice because you get to play 1-ofs on these and recycle them if they're in the graveyard. And then you cannot normal summon or set the turn you activate this card. So it has that drawback, but overall it's definitely worth it. And to finish off the spells, we're going to play 3 trade-in. Being able to get rid of Amaryllis to the graveyard, then draw 2 new cards just feels insanely nice. And the fact that we play 8 level 8s, and this is going to help unbrick your hand. And then we have some traps. Let me get these out of the way first. Alright, to finish off the main deck, we have a few traps. We have some generic ones. We have Mirror Force, Torrential, and Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted, I made that choice just because we get so many cards in the graveyard that it just feels very nice. We have a bunch of beaters we can summon off of it. Getting back a Lone Fire is nice. Danny's nice. Chaining it to a Heavy Storm and getting back a Song and then getting a Surge is nice. And then we're playing 3 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Wind Blast is insanely good in this format instead of Raigeki Break because of Stardust Dragon. It also can help put them on bad top decks. And then just generically out stuff, so that's good. But the fact that it discards a card for cost is really nice because we want to get that Amaryllis out of our hand. So yeah, we have so many ways of getting Amaryllis from our hand to the graveyard, deck to the graveyard. It's basically Amaryllis Turbo. And then we have an extra deck. Let's go over that. It is a 15-card extra deck. We're playing all the slots. We're playing the 1 plant. We're playing Queen of Thorns. She's a level 5, or sorry, level 6. It says each player must pay 1,000 life points to normal or special summon a non-plant type monster from their hand. So that can put your opponent on low life. And they're playing a bunch of generics. We have some non-generics here, but I'll get to those in a second. We have the 1 Armory Arm, the 1 Cataster, the 1 Android, 1 Bryonic, 1 Goyo. For one of our non-generics, we're playing 1 Tempest because we can, because of the Lila. Plague and Lila makes this. It requires a non-spellcaster, or sorry, it requires a spellcaster, non-tuner spellcaster. That's what I was trying to say. So that's why we have the Lila for that. And we're playing the Black Rose Dragon, Ancient Fairy. Because we play Darks, we can play the Dark End Dragon. Then we have some more generics. We have Stardust, Colossal, and Thought Ruler for our level 8s. We have the level 9 Mistworm. And then because it's super free, we're playing the 1 Chimera type Fortress Dragon. And that is it, guys. If you guys have any changes, let me know down below. Again, if you like Go Edison Tengu Hat, we got it all here. Subscribe for more. We appreciate you. Peace out.